I've been juggling 2 work-from-home jobs to support my wife and our family, including hiring a nanny to help out. But things took a turn when my wife told me over Father's Day dinner that no woman would ever want me. That was the last straw, so I handed her divorce papers. I'm 43, doing my best to provide for my wife, who's 38, our 2 kids who are 3 and 5, and my mother-in-law. I thought I was doing okay over the years. I went back to school and got another bachelor's and a master's in a STEM field while working 2 jobs. I also put my wife through college so she could earn a good salary in healthcare, which she did, but she paused her career to stay home with the kids after they were born. It was tough at first, but once I finished my master's, my career took off, and now we can comfortably afford living on my income of over $150K, including bonuses. We're not rich, but we're managing for a family of 4. Last year, my wife was feeling overwhelmed, so I hired a nanny to help during the day. I'm up by 5:30 or 6 every morning to get the house ready before the nanny arrives at 8 a.m. I get our eldest ready for school and plan my workday. Recently, I've been working 100% from home, which is hectic with global meetings. After observing my wife's routine while working from home, it seems like her day starts around 10 a.m. and involves cooking and phone scrolling or shopping. I'm glad I can provide for her, considering we both didn't have much growing up, and I understand things like postpartum depression and the stress of parenting. I take care of all the finances, bills, and household maintenance, while still supporting my mother-in-law's health expenses. Despite doing all this, my wife thinks her life is way harder than mine. I can't talk to her about my struggles because she always one-ups me with her own issues. For the past couple of years, I've been told I've ruined her life. Yet she denies it when I bring it up. Even my mother-in-law has noticed a change in us. I feel more attached to my kids and even the dogs than to her because I'm in survival mode, emotionally speaking. I'm just trying to climb the career ladder without resorting to whiskey for comfort. I wish someone, besides my kids, appreciated what I do. It's tough hearing from folks who might not get my situation, like the stay-at-home parents, because with the help we have, my wife's situation seems different. And no, I haven't cheated. Despite working in a female-dominated industry, my wife knows everything about my work, yet still doesn't understand what I do. We've tried getting her into therapy, but she dodges it. Honestly, I don't know what I'm getting out of this marriage aside from my wonderful kids. Our sex life is next to none, and I wonder if it's due to her depression or other issues. I'm not a supermodel husband, but I'm loyal to her despite opportunities. I give her credit. She cooks for everyone and handles some house chores, but I end up doing a lot of the work, like grocery shopping and laundry. Before hiring a nanny, my mother-in-law was the main help, but she needed medical attention. After a heated argument when I showed my wife this post, she left to stay with her sister. I've been handling everything solo with the kids since then. It's sad, as life just feels like I'm venting to strangers for some kind of validation. Thanks to everyone who reached out, offered encouragement, or even a laugh. Here's hoping things get better. Life's been a bit of a roller coaster lately. I'm really worried about how things might affect our kids' future. You know, a tense home isn't great, but a messy divorce isn't any better. Some folks say it's like ripping off a Band-Aid, that it'll hurt at first but eventually heal. But honestly, I want to shield my kids from thinking their parents hate each other because of them, or something like that. I've been chatting with a few people in my DMs after my last post, filling them in a bit more. Before I got my promotion, I used to be a project manager, handling teams and budgets. So naturally, I'm all about planning for the what-ifs. I've even talked to 3 lawyers to know our rights and have a settlement draft ready, just in case things go south. I'm ready to offer more than what's fair if it means our kids are okay, but I also have a plan if we end up in court. It's totally on me that I've been suffering in silence, but I'm too stubborn to just throw in the towel. Even though I'm venting here, I'm not looking for pity. I'm hanging in there to keep things normal for the kids, make sure my mother-in-law gets her treatments, and of course, to see if my wife might finally give therapy a chance so we can rebuild. Thanks to everyone who's checked in via DM and comments. I apologize if this post is a bit long. It's kind of ironic, writing this during Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, but I definitely need another outlet besides my therapist. Sorry if this isn't the dramatic end some folks were expecting, but here's the update. My wife left and came back like nothing happened, acting like it's all about her. Nothing's really changed, and I'm still trying to hold it together for our kids, ordering a bit more takeout than usual. When she tried to take the kids and move in with her sister, her whole family, including the sister, wasn't on board. It wouldn't have been fair to our kids or her family since she doesn't work and they already have their hands full. After a week away, she just walked back in like everything's fine, right while I was on a conference call. She got mad because I couldn't drop everything to talk, but we hashed it out later. It didn't really improve things. She kept talking about how tough it was for her at her family's place, and it broke me a little more inside. I've tried to reconcile, but it usually ends in arguments. We had a particularly tough night when I tried talking about my stress, and she just brushed it off. I don't recognize who she's become, and it's made me pull away. I've been sleeping on the couch or with the kids, while she starts her day late and spends a lot of time on her phone. Nothing's changing, and I'm scared that even if we divorced, things wouldn't be much different. My main worry is losing my kids. So here we are, at the end of my little story. Like many others, I'll keep smiling and dealing with it silently. Recently, something snapped. At a therapy session, she said I don't do anything, right in front of family at a Father's Day dinner. That's when I handed her the papers. She's trying to act like everything's perfect, but I'm just biding my time, taking care of the kids and family. Just to clear up any confusion, I didn't juggle 2 bachelors and a master's all at once. My first bachelor was in the early 2000s, and then I did another online while working 2 jobs. My wife and I both went back to school, but I covered all the tuition with 2 jobs. I finally settled into 1 job later and got my master's. It wasn't easy, but I'm surprised people think it's unusual. My wife chooses not to work even though she technically has a job. She just barely works it. Her job is flexible. She can pick up shifts whenever, but doesn't do it often. Despite having all the support around her from family, her job, and me, she doesn't take advantage of the opportunities to work more. I've been going to therapy on my own. My work can be tough on my mental and physical health, and with the lack of support at home, therapy's been my go-to instead of turning to an unhealthy coping mechanism. I've tried talking to my wife about it, but she'd rather one-up me than listen. Meanwhile, my mother-in-law is here to help out, especially with everything happening at home and my sister-in-law's family moving back in with their parents. So, here's the lowdown. Mill's been a real lifesaver, helping us keep a closer eye on things while my wife is getting her treatments twice a month. We've heavily suspected she's dealing with postpartum depression, plus she's got a history of OCD and ADHD symptoms. Over the years, she kind of brushed off getting evaluated or accepting any results. When I fell for her, I accepted all her quirks just like she accepted mine. Spare me the "I don't feel sorry for you" stuff. I'm just a regular guy who fell in love and wanted to give my best to her. But here we are. I know there are a bunch of manly men out there saying I'm being too soft. Honestly, if it was just about me, I might have bailed a while ago. But, like someone on Reddit pointed out, I'd take a bullet for my kids, no question. It's true. If it means protecting them, I'll stand my ground. I'm sure other dads would do the same. I'd rather my wife vent her issues at me than our kids. Thanks for all the support and messages. I've met some great people online through this who've been following along. It's crazy how this story spread across Reddit and beyond. Love me, hate me, or call it fake. It's all good. Thanks for the constructive feedback and DMs. We're going to be all right moving forward. Now for the update. It's the end of an era. We finally tried marriage counseling after our family pushed for it during an intervention. As you might guess, it didn't go great. It was full of blame, tears, and gaslighting. My wife basically ignored everything the therapist said because it didn't fit her narrative. When asked about the last time she was happy, she mentioned being in her 20s, childless, and with her ex, back when life was simpler for her. Maybe she can find that happiness again, but my clubbing days are long gone, especially with kids around. No, she hasn't physically cheated as far as I know, but emotionally? Who knows? I didn't dig into her social media but didn't find anything sketchy in her phone records. Anyway, shout out to all the Costco dads like me who spend Sundays grabbing free samples with their kids. Father's Day came and went without much fanfare. We had a family BBQ, but my wife treated it like any other day. She claimed she felt sick, so she mostly sat around. While we were eating, I was talking to my brother-in-law about our kids' school activities, and my wife laughed at the idea that I didn't do anything. It was awkward, and my mother-in-law suggested maybe one of us should get a divorce. My wife laughed it off, but her comment hurt. I left the house, needing some air, and didn't come back until Monday morning. When I got back, everything felt different. I decided it was time to move on and texted my lawyer about starting the divorce process. She was served last week, and of course, there was drama. Her mom tried to help, but my wife accused me of turning her family against her. I'm not looking for a fight. I just want a simple, drama-free divorce. I'll make sure our kids are taken care of, handle their insurance, and cover their school fees. My mother-in-law's been a rock, supporting me through this, and I'm grateful for that. So I'm gearing up for what might be a legal battle, but I'd prefer to keep it clean and simple. My wife has no claim to alimony, given our state laws and her potential to work. I'll support her until she's on her feet or the divorce is finalized. That's about it for now, folks. Sorry if it wasn't a juicy story with plot twists. I'm not sure if I'll update again, but there you go.